welcome. Glad to have you aboard. David and I have been kicking this thing down the road here for the last couple of years, and we finally did it here in the last week or whatever. So glad to have you guys. I always need more 300 consultants. The two that we always had, and probably you guys would know these people, is Bruce Evinrude and Kay Drake here in Southern California. Have both been around about 20 to 25 years. Both of them have Kay's kind of pushing out, retiring a little bit. And then Bruce has got his own thing going with his paperless thing, so he doesn't do any consulting for us anymore. So we always are in the need for good 300 consultants. So I think you guys will fit us really, really well. So
Great.
In here sitting next to me is Amy Carr, who will be your probably primary contact, along with Jean. There's two women in the office that run this company. I just kind of show up and get a paycheck every once in a while. Anyway, Amy's our customer care manager. She does all the stuff with the customers. If you need to know if a customer's on support, if you need to know what modules they own, or you need to get contact information, Amy can help you with a lot of that stuff. Jean's going to be your primary contact for your billing. She does all of the billings, and she also writes the checks, AP. So we'll handle that through Jean. So you probably talk to Jean a couple of times here in the next week or so as the billings start to flow through us rather than through RealWare. So as of this point, though, until Sage finally blesses this thing, which is probably a couple days away, everything is kind of just the same as it is today. You'll just continue to build through RealWare. We're not going to change anything. We're really not going to notify your clients yet unless you feel it's imperative to do that. They'll be notified by David and I in a nice formal letter. They'll be notified by Sage again and then by you. So they'll get a couple of opportunities to hear what's going on. So that's kind of the way we want to do it, if that's okay with you guys. Here's the deal. David's been doing this a lot longer than we have. I started my company in 2001. Amy got here in 2002, and Jean's been here about 8 years, I think. So, and a lot of the consultants we have been with us almost since the very first. The first consultants I brought on board are still with us. Well, except for one. He wasn't really good, by the way. Anyway, except for one, they're all still here. Names you probably, Janet would recognize, you know, Pam Schultz, Shar Samsel, a couple of these people have been around for quite a while. Jim Cumming, Donna Lucas, Donna Caswell. A lot of those people are all Safe 100 people and been involved with the product for 20+ years. So there's some changes that you're going to have. I think you're going to, hopefully you'll like them. And I don't know how much David has shared with you, but our share of billings is 75-25, 75% obviously going to you, and then we retain 25%. So I think that's a little bit better than what you had previously. We do have some kind of, I hate to say they're rules, but there's two rules in our company that I really expect you to follow. And one is, if I send you an email, I hope to get a response pretty quickly. That's one thing, because if I need something, I usually need it pretty quick. And that could be a reference or just a question on how to answer a question on a Sage 300 opportunity. And I'll usually send that out to a group so that whoever responds first, I appreciate it. I like those responses. The other thing, and the one thing that is really, really important for me and this company, and we built this, is I expect you, if your client calls you, to call your client back within 4 hours. And that can be an email back to them saying, hey, I'm on site, I'm busy, I'm on vacation, can somebody else help you? But and if you can't, if you're totally out of pocket and you can't break away, then shoot an email to our office, and either Jean or Amy will call your client for you and let them know that you really are tied up in an all-day conference or an all-day thing, and you will get back to them. But I really believe in that. The way I built this company, and we're not very many, we answer our phone from 7 o'clock to 4 o'clock with a live voice every day, unless it's a holiday weekend. But Jean comes in at 7, Amy comes in at 9, and we have coverage on the phone from 7 to 4. So we're always answering our phone. So if the client needs something, they can call here, and we'll get the message to you. Or if they call you and you can't get back to them, let us know, and we'll get in touch with them. It's really important to me that our clients know that we respect them and we appreciate their business. I know David shared with me the other day, he's picked up a number of clients from other business partners who have not been responsive. We have picked up somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 40 new clients in the last 12 months from other business partners who did not return phone calls or return emails. And so the clients really do expect that. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, just so you know, that is really important to CFO on the go, that we get back to our clients. The other thing, and I don't think you have anything like this, and we'll get you copies of this, we have a professional services agreement that we want to have in place with all new customers. And the new customer, as far as Dave and I kind of considered here, if RealWare's billed the customer in the last 6 months, they're not going to fall into this policy right now. If they haven't used RealWare in the last 6 months, then they will fall into the policy where we'll require a professional services agreement. And we'll send you this. There's not a lot in here, guys. It's not a contract. It basically just outlines, and Janet's been doing some work for us, and it just outlines our travel policy, what we get paid, what our billing rates are, and we're just a little different. Our new billing rate is going to be $185 if they want to be billed, and their rate is if they prepay in 8-hour blocks is $165. So it kind of is on both sides of what you guys are billed now, but the prepaid works out really well. You guys get your money faster, and we've cut down on having to track down people for outstanding invoices. You'll read through this thing. David, help me out. I think you guys are only billing $60, right, for travel an hour?
That's correct. Both directions.
Yeah. And so what now is, if people that will fall in this PSA, it's a little bit better for you guys, is we bill one way at the full rate. So we'll be billing the $185 or $165 in one way, and then we bill 55 cents per mile.
56.
56.
Next page.
Yeah, next page. Yeah, here's all the travel time and what we bill for. And right now we just always use the IRS rate. So whatever the IRS rate is, right.
Cents a mile right now.
And in yours, this will change. We deal mostly with a lot of 100 clients, and they all start out with a $2,500 credit limit. And by the way, some of our clients considered that to be a line of credit, and we had to explain to them it was just a limit that once they reached $2,500, they had to make a payment, or we would discontinue services. David and I will kind of figure out what that number is going to be going forward. It's probably going to be more like 5,000 because on a 300 deal, 5,000 goes pretty fast as well. And then I'm trying to think of anything else on the TSA. Anyway, I will send you guys. Most of the time, you have to kind of kick them a little bit to get this back. It's not something they're going to do right away. We do allow people and consultants to have that first meeting, that first get-together meeting or kickoff meeting, whatever, without it, but really like to have that agreement back on file before we really start going on the actual assignment.
And then what I have the consultants do is put it back on us to say, well, this company requires it. We just have to have this. I can't, schedule any more appointments until I get this signed agreement. And I can send it out, but it's really, I ask the consultants to help me with that part of it because kind of the buck stops there with you as the consultant because you're the one who kind of push them knowing that they have to send it in. And basically it's just, it doesn't obligate them to do anything. It just lets them know what our rates are and, what our understanding is.
Yeah. A simple thing, and I don't know if you guys get it. We get it every once in a while. It's like, it's a very simple thing, but it helps is that, it's right here. If they call us after 7 o'clock at night, then we're going to bill them 133% premium. If they call us before 7 o'clock in the morning, there's 133%. There's a 33% markup additional for doing it off hours. And so the first time we usually waive it, we'll bill it to them and then cut it, reduce it and say, hey, we should have billed you this, we didn't, but just remember next time it happens, you will get that bill.
And the cancellation policy.
And there's a cancellation policy too. So there's a whole lot of little things. Nothing major. People think it's a formal contract. It really isn't. It's just let them know, and we're locking their rates in. And the other thing which helped us a lot is like on custom reports, and you guys probably do a lot of custom reports, is that most reports we tell them it's a 2-week time frame. So don't call me on Monday and expect to have a report in your email on Tuesday. Our normal turnaround time is for 2 weeks. Now, obviously we beat that, but we set the expectation for these people that it's not something that gets done in a 24-hour turnaround. So anyway, Linda, and Janet, any questions?
No, very good. Thank you for sharing it very concisely.
Yeah. So here's the deal. This thing's going to kind of move forward. Amy's got a lot of work to do. Every time we do something like this, I wind up handing it off to Amy. So you'll all be getting new email addresses with obviously our domain. We will be setting up. We just got a brand new phone system, by the way. You guys are the very first phone call on our new phone system. It was installed yesterday afternoon. So we will be setting up. What do you call them? Virtual. Yeah, virtual mailboxes here. So if they call in on our 800 number or whatever, you will have an extension. If they leave a voicemail for you, I think it's very similar to what you have today. that email basically comes back out to you as an email to your phone or whatever right away. And so you will be able to leave this number and have them call here or your cell phones, but it will forward to your cell phone, and your emails will just have to get your forwarding addresses as well. So a couple of things that I could use from you, which will really be helpful, and David shared some, but I think it'd be better if it came from you guys. Obviously, all of you have been doing either 100 or 300 for a really long time. And Janet, I think you're exempt from this because we've already been working with you. But for both Lindas, I really need to know where you see your strong suits, what modules you really feel strong in, which ones that you would rather have somebody else do, and maybe you don't have any, but there's some people here that just say, look, I don't want to do anything in the service module, or I don't want to do anything in what have you. I need to know that just so as we get opportunities, we'll know who to pass those on to. And then maybe just a little snapshot of your background so we have that on file if somebody, as we get closer to closing a sale, says, hey, who's my consultant going to be and what's their background? We always like to be able to have a little snapshot of their background, not a full resume, but a snapshot of your experiences working with the 300 product. So that'll really help me. What I'm really looking for is, if both of you are really comfortable with Crystal and report writing, I really need to know that because we do get opportunities for report writing. I'd like to make sure that you're comfortable if I give it to you. And the one thing I like to let you know is that everybody thinks of CF On The Go, and if you talk to anybody, they say, oh, CF On The Go, they only do Master Grow. They're just little guys. As of this point, we have about 1,600 clients, and 200 and change of those, or now over 300 actually, are 300 clients. And we have about 225 of those or so right here in Southern California. So we do get opportunities down here for online training, which we're going to pass on to you guys. And a lot of times we'll get requests for report writing, which we'd like to pass on to you guys. So there'll be some opportunities coming out of Southern California for online training and report writing as we move forward here. So I want to go through my notes, which will write, if I can hardly read my own writing. Hang on. So anyway, new email, phone, that'll all be probably over the next week or so. If you don't see anything this week, you won't see anything next week. It'll probably be the week after. And hopefully this will all be formalized by Sage sometime in the middle of next week so we can actually let the clients know what's going on. As far as, I think David's probably already had this conversation with you. David's going to continue on doing what he's been doing, and that's trying to find sales opportunities and ranging for demos and doing presentations and trying to close deals. And so he's just going to be doing Northern California for us. And so as David will tell you, this week we had 2 opportunities. David had, and they're both on the 100 side, but we've had 2 demos this week already on the 100 side. So there's 2 opportunities there. And we're pushing Sage now to give us more opportunities on the 300 side than they have in the past. But one of the things you can find out, I'm always pretty open with people. I share stuff. So the reason you guys haven't seen a lot of leads is real simple. Sage is not getting a lot of 300s. They're getting a ton of 100 opportunities only. And I think if you think about this, the economy, what it was for the last 5-6 years, people are still a little hesitant to be spending a lot of money. And so getting them to look at the 300 product in the last year or 2, 3 or 4 has been really difficult, and the 100 has been more of the product of choice. That probably will swing around a little bit as companies start to grow. We have, I think, 2 or 3. I mean, we moved 2 people from 100 to 300. I think we've moved 3 here in the last year or so where they literally outgrew Sage 100, and we have moved those to the 300 product. One in Sacramento, one in San Francisco. And I know there's another one I just can't think of it right now. So I think as this economy turns around and the guys that have survived, they will start to outgrow it at some point or need some more features. So there are going to be some of our 1,300 odd clients that will make the move. It's not going to be a lot, but there'll probably be a half a dozen in the next year or so, I think, that could be potentially making that move, which will give us more opportunities. That's all I really had. I mean, I really am happy to have you guys. I always struggle when we come across a 300 opportunity on who's going to do it, or one of my clients says, hey, I need a report. I'm trying to find somebody to do it, so it would be really nice to have some new resources. Glad to have David aboard. Like I said, David and I have been kind of kicking this around for a couple of years, and we finally got it done. I think it's going to be it's a win for both of us. As, I know David feels that way, and I do too. It's just nice to have somebody with David's experience, knowing the 300 product. I can open up 300, and I can probably navigate around a little bit. It's absolutely not my expertise, and so I always need somebody that can really help me with that. And that's David's going to really fill that role for us. And like I said, he brought us 100 opportunities this week, so we're already seeing some synergies between the two companies. Anyway, I kind of been rambling here. Any questions, any concerns? We really, you'll find that if you have a question, I'm going to answer it. I don't sugarcoat a lot of things. Amy will tell you that. I mean, you'll know my feelings on things one way or the other. If there's something I think you ought to know, we're going to share it with you. And sometimes I will send you an email and say, hey, this is for your information, and don't share it with your clients, because we have insight to other things that product enhancements are maybe coming down the road. So we want you to be aware of those. We do some training. We may hire people to do training if you guys feel like you need extra help in some area. I don't have any problem. We've done this before on both the 100 and 300. You say, look, we need some more Crystal Report training, or we need some more something. I'll hire somebody and have you guys brought up to speed if you need to. Or if you're feeling like you need some help somewhere, all you got to do is call me. We want you guys to be the best there are out there. That's how we grew our business. We grew from one client to, like I said, over 1,500 now in 13 years, and by keep taking care of the client and having really good consultants. So anyway, that's how we built our company, and that's how we're going to continue to grow here over the next, I don't know how many years or more I want to work, 5, 6, 7, 8, for me anyway. But this company will keep on going. So anyway, that's it. I appreciate it. Anybody have any questions at all? David, have anything to add?
Yes,
No,
Linda.
and I think you already covered it, but the existing consulting situations, it's sort of up to the consultants to maybe make that call. And so if the clients are asking about what's the difference here and what's the transition, and if they've seen the new schedule of terms and conditions, Linda, you can say, well, because we already have this consulting engagement in process, I'll ask them just to keep things the way they are at the current rates if you're more comfortable with that, rather than bumping it up $10, and keep the travel charges the same. And then at some point in the future, once we finish this engagement, then we can have them revert to the new terms and conditions. So it sort of gives you a little bit of maybe control, but in the eyes of the client, they're going to say, oh, I really appreciate that because we budgeted for this project, and this might put us over the top. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And Linda?
Yes, that's great.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Other than that, I think that covers it for me.
I have one question, Linda Farmer. As far as contacting clients, I do some work at night. I don't know if I start work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it goes into 8 o'clock at night or midnight kind of thing, whatever the case might be. I'm going to just charge the daily rate. Would be a suggestion?
So here's the deal. I always leave it up to the consultants because it's almost all your money, right? If you don't want to charge a premium, that's up to you. But here's the issue that started this, and it probably was like 8 or 9 years ago. We had a guy, okay. And 100 and 300 are different deals, right? So 100 are smaller companies, right? So usually the guy's out in the field all day long, and then he comes into the office and starts working, right? Well, he needed help with his payroll, so he calls my consultant at like 9 o'clock at night and has her work on the phone with him till 11, right? The next thing I know, he's doing it again the next week. And that's when we said, hey, we can't have this going on anymore. And that's when we put that policy into place. So that's there if you want to use it. If you want to bill at the regular rate, we have no problem with it. But it's for those people that are, aggravating you with lots of little calls late at night or whatever, then you can say, hey, at this point I got to bill you the premium. But it's always up to you if you bill it or not.
Okay, great. I like that being in place in your agreement. My second question is about remote access to assist clients. Is there a company way to use a system to remote access clients?
Now, all of our consultants basically use GoToMeeting. They provide that on their own.
Now, we have charged for that in the past. So when Linda does a training session or says, I will dial in to fix the problem or help you with it, I think we've had a $25 or $35 $35 fee, and I don't know if you charge for that, Dennis, or not.
That's just always included in our rate.
Okay, so I guess going forward then we'll just say that the new terms say that there's no fee.
I'm looking at Amy. We can add some more to our account, right?
Right, we can add more to the account. Is that what
Okay, and we have run into the problem a little bit where having the, I don't know how many accounts we have, but I know I've had to bump, unfortunately, I apologize, Linda, again, I've had to bump the consultants off because I have a scheduled demo. So maybe having the schedule up available for the consultants to see, depending on how many uses are, if it's unlimited or there's plenty, but I know that we run sort of a minimum quantity, and so the consultants have to keep track of it, because if we come in and we have a demo, we can't delay the demo, typically. Anyway, those things are
hey, David, here's, you know, Janet, you already have your own, right?
Yes, I do, but I'm paying for it. It's a different service.
Okay. We can add another couple accounts to our GoToMeeting if we need to. Just let us know. We already have like 5, I think.
We have 5 now.
But most of those are used. I mean, we have a consultant in-house.
We can add additional ones.
We have a consultant in-house. I have one and a couple other consultants for us to have them. So I can add a couple more. We'll be just using GoToMeeting. But let us think about that. We can probably add those for both Lindas at this point.
Yeah, no, actually, this is Linda Angelotti. I don't use GoToMeeting. I use the Citrix Connection GoToAssist, and I've been paying for that. And I don't pass that on. And personally, I don't pass that charge on to customers. I know RealWare does, but I've never added. When I do online, I do most of my work online, and I don't pass that on.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll take a look, because we have an account with Citrix. We can probably just add those. I'm going to take off one of my other ones. We can just maybe just add a couple of GoAssist on there so you guys have them. And you made me think of something else, and I already forgot it. So we also have an FTP site. We can get you information. So if you need to, it used to be called YouSendIt. It's called something else now, but we do have an FTP site that you guys can use if you need to move big files with your clients, or clients need to send you something. We get you access to that as well, because that happens every once in a while on the big files. So you'll find us. We're always here. You'll have my cell phone number, so you can always get a hold of me. We'll get you all the contact information here. We'll get your email addresses going. But like I said, Sage is probably not going to notify the clients for at least another week or two. So if they may find out from somehow, but most likely they won't find out for another week or two.
So Dennis,
is Sage gonna send the letter out first, or
so we're going to try and beat this is Dennis. We're going to try and beat them to the punch on that. So David and I have we got a letter from last time I did this. We're going to have a letter that's signed by both David and I, and we're going to have those done here probably next couple of days, and then all addressed and ready to go based on all the clients that we know of. And David will have them ready to mail as soon as it's official with Sage. We're going to try and get our email, our letter out first, and we probably will email clients as well. And then Sage's letter is so plain. It's just like, your dealer was A and your new dealer is B. Boom, done. Thank you very much. Our letter's a lot nicer and tells them why we did it, and kind of tells them who the new contacts are and what have you. So we'll have our letter hopefully out before Sage's goes out, and then David and I have talked about some of the larger clients maybe calling them personally. So as soon as we know when we can make that announcement, we'll notify you so that you know that we've made it public. There'll be a press release coming out, so there's going to be a lot of ways that people are going to find out about it. But that's like
we will. I was just going to say in the letter, we're intending to have something about staying with your existing consultant, so the clients are not unduly upset.
Right.
No, there's only here's how I look at it. There's really only one difference. There's a lot of difference, but the only difference the client's going to see is they still get the work they've been working with forever. The only difference is they're going to get an invoice from CFO on a Go rather than a RealWare, and they're going to mail their check someplace different. Other than that, everything else is the same. They shouldn't really see much of a difference. maybe a different phone number, but the RealWear number is going to stay in place for a while, and so they want to continue to call that number, they can still call there, or they can use our number. So they'll have a choice. But as far as I know, and we've done this, just so you know, we did this 7 years ago. And first one was a heart. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Anyway, we did seven years ago. I was bought Severance Company.
Actually, I thought I was going to kill Dennis, but that's
Yeah, it was pretty stressful around here because there was a lot of moving pieces going around.
Yeah.
So, but that went down, and then 4 years ago we bought Jim Cumming, who had about 600 clients in Stockton on the Sage 100 side. So we've done this before, so we kind of have it all figured out. We know what we did right the last couple of times, what we did wrong, and we fixed those things. And so it's pretty seamless to the client. There's a couple of things that we do. We do a monthly newsletter, so I will be hitting all of you up on occasion for a 300 tip, or in Janet's case, a 100 tip that we can include in the newsletter. Or maybe here's a custom report we provided for somebody else, and we'd like you guys to have this, and it's free for you to download here or whatever. So we do an email monthly newsletter out to all of the clients. It goes out to about 2,700 email addresses that we have for our clients. So we do a newsletter. We let them know what's going on, what's coming up in the latest versions, what third-party products have been enhanced or what new ones coming. So we try and keep them informed a little bit better than Sage does on what's going on. All right.
And our goal, too, is not to be huge. That's not what we want to do.
Right.
We want our customers to be happy,
right,
no matter what. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you have to give some time away for free or give them something for free, or the biggest thing is keeping customers happy.
And
So,
I guess he agrees or she agrees as well, likes it. Yeah.
yes.
So we have a lot of clients. My goal, and I still talk to a lot of clients. I mean, if a client wants to talk to me, I take the calls. I mean, if a consultant's having an issue, they can refer it back to me, or what have you. But I'm here. I want to be in place. I like talking to people. My favorite thing to do, by the way, is doing demos. I mean, it's what I enjoy. It's the reason I come to work every day is to get more sales. And I'm going to screw this number up, so hang on one second. Prior to RealWear, we had like 16 consultants. That sound about right?
16. Yeah.
I think we have 16 consultants right now, and so, if you want to talk to them, obviously you've heard us, David's talked to you. You want to talk to some of our consultants that work for us, let us know, and we'll send you their emails, or their phone numbers. But you can ask them. But most of them have been with me for a long time. Again, we want to keep the customer happy. I love making sales. I love it when the customer comes back and says, "Man, I'm so glad I bought this software. This is the best thing I could have ever done. Why didn't you make me do it sooner?" That's the kind of things I like to hear. And I do like to hear those comments. If you get positive comments from your clients, and I know you guys get those in emails, or a big thank you, pass those on. I like to see those. They're important to me. That's why I'm here. I bought software, and I got to tell you, and everybody knows this name, Glenn West. I bought Timberline from Glenn West in 1998. Okay. And so I've been buying software, and I know how I got screwed over or lied to or whatever. I don't do that to my clients. We're very upfront with our clients on what the expectations are, budget-wise. There should be no surprise when you go into an account that they're expected to have a budget number that we're going to meet or beat. But they always know what they're getting into. We don't. Some other clients, I worked with somebody a long time ago, nameless, and I said, "Why didn't you put that on the proposal?" He goes, "Oh, you know what? We don't put that on there because by the time they figure out I left that off there, it's too late for them to change their mind on the software." But he would leave things off. Or he would say, they need 2 AP when they needed 6. And then when they get live, they have to buy 4 more. Well, and all of a sudden, they're spending 40% more. But that's how he sold. And I don't do it that way. We're very upfront with people, very honest, very ethical. I mean, I can say that, but you can talk to my clients and my consultants. They'll think you'll hear the same thing. So, guys, I appreciate your time. Go out and make some money, make your clients happy. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All
One
right.
quick question: Is
Sure.
our business cards in the making?
Yes, we're working on those now.
Yep.
Okay.
And so once we have to get a lot more information from you guys, we got to make sure we got all your names right. Get the email set up so they're working. We got to find out what extensions you have. So we got to get that set up. Once that happens, you will get a stack of business cards. Okay.
Anything else?
And
Anything else?
One thing I was thinking of, right now I'm emailing invoices. Is that the routine that's going to happen in the future?
Yep.
Just email
right.
them. That's
Yep.
great. That's wonderful. Thanks.
So I think Linda has a lot ahead to go. So one of the things we're working on, and this is 6 months away maybe, is there's a product called HH2, which is a third-party device for service. That ties into 100. We may have you guys actually enter your own invoices remotely, and they'll automatically integrate into our system. So that way you can type as much as you want or as little as you want. But, we're looking at making that really simple for everybody. But Jean's your contact on that, so if she has a question when she gets your billing or doesn't understand what you're trying to say or whatever, she'll call you and do that. But she does the billings probably the same day she gets them. They usually go out in the mail right away. We're talking about emailing them now as well. And then our payment terms, and I get this wrong, it's 15th and the 30th, basically?
The 10th and the 25th.
Okay, 10th and the 25th. So we write checks on the 10th usually of every month and the 25th of every month. So that's the check cycle we do. So if a check comes in before the 9th, it'll be on the check for the 10th. If it comes in after that, it'll be on the 25th. So those are the dates we do, and we've been following that for quite a while. It's twice a month. All right, guys, have fun. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you, Dennis. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right.